Support for Radio Friends comes from La Brunerie Financial, where they work to ensure a lifetime of financial security for people from all walks of life, from investment services to retirement plans. If you're looking for a trustworthy company that has the experience and knowledge to put your interests first, contact La Brunerie Financial, a community-based investment counseling firm since 1966. Learn more at labrunerie.com or by calling 573-449-5313. Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Monday, September the 2nd. This is official Labor Day, and Larry Brown, who is always with us on our holidays. You got a Labor Day story for us?
It's a fun story day.
Okay.
Like an escape story.
Okay. Our singer, our songwriter, and today, our storyteller, Larry Brown.
There was a rocking and a rolling and abrupt rising and falling, and the airplane was just going all over the place, and the fasten the seatbelt light came on, and then the voice of Captain Sally boomed over the loudspeaker. This is Captain Sally. We're experiencing some slight high altitude turbulence, and we'll be out of that in a few minutes. I have turned on the fasten seatbelt light, so remain seated until I've turned it off. Thank you. Well, the passengers and all of us were just kind of, nervous as the whole rocking and rolling went on for 20 minutes. And then the voice again of Captain Sally. This is Captain Sally. We're experiencing some temporary technical equipment, but we're going to get this solved in a few minutes. And now everybody was nervous and anxious, kind of fearful, and this was going on. And then again, as Captain Sally, I would like any passengers between the ages of 8 and 12 to come forward. We're having a computer glitch, and we need some assistance here. And 3 kids ran up to the front, and the co-pilot there was sorting out, and one of them went in. They closed the door there in the cockpit. And now all of us were nervous. And then a little buzzer went off. Little bags dropped out of the ceiling, and a flight attendant went up with the microphone and said, Captain has asked me to announce we're going to be making an emergency landing in Sydney, Nebraska, so assume the safety position. Thank you. I, for one, I couldn't find my ankles, let alone get a hold of them. And the woman beside me had her head buried in the barf bag, and the guy behind me was doing prayers out loud. The guy across the aisle was trying to get his drinks down, and then I remembered. I was one who volunteered to jump off of the plane to lighten the load in case of an emergency landing. Well, let me tell you how I got into this situation. I got one of those discount coupons for a new economy airlines that was offering direct flights out of St. Louis to places like, Bismarck, North Dakota, and Wichita Falls, Texas, and Salt Lake City in New York. And I was flying to Manhattan that fall, so I got my coupon and went online to book my flight. And then I noticed, of course, the direct flight to New York City was through Salt Lake City. Well, the fine print said 2 direct flights, to get me there, and I did that and got my boarding pass. And 24 hours before my flight, I got a little email message from the flight. It was called PMS Airlines, Pretty Much South Airlines. And they gave me the instructions for luggage and the special new improvements in the plane. And any carry-on luggage that was overweight would be sent on the next available flight at no charge. And luggage compartments would be assigned based on the size of the person. So the smaller the square footage of the person, the more square footage of luggage space you got. And seats would be assigned based on shoulder and butt width. No more one size seat fits all. And then, of course, the special things. They had a pizza buffet, and they had a dome viewing compartment for aerial viewing, and opportunity to skydive off the plane 30 minutes before arriving at the airport. And this was great. Well, I went through security, and that was no problem, except I had to remove my left shoe and my belt, and my bladder had more than 3.5 fluid ounces. Of course, I had to take care of that. Got there to the gate, and I was assigned to Concourse L. So they sent me to L, and all of the gates of L, there 13 through mine was 13. Got there, and of course they were courteous, and we were lining up by height, taking our measurements and so on. Got on the plane, and the flight attendants were all nice, and they all assured us they had pharmaceutical assistantship certification, and we were given little emergency packets. There was things in a little packet here like nose plugs and Vaseline and a disposable diaper and shark repellent, and we found our seat, and it was great. And they announced this was a battery solar-powered aircraft. So in case of overcast skies, the little seat rests were sort of set up so you could pump to add more electricity to the battery in case. And of course, the pilot would assign us those duties if needed. And then they said that discount coupons would be given to anyone willing to jump off the plane to lighten the load for emergency landing. And that's how I got into that situation. Well, after we'd been settled in, I went and saw the plane, and it was been refurbished, I could tell. Particularly when I went down to the dome compartment, I saw it was actually a bubble for a gun turret off an old World War II aircraft. But I did the pizza buffet, and that's when I got back to my seat, and they announced the turbulence. Well, here we were being rocked and shoved and tossed around in the skies over the Great Plains, and the flight attendant came back to me and said, "Mr. Brown, I'd like for you to come to the back of the airplane. It's time for your departure." So I went back, and all I could think of was, poor Captain Sally with her 12-year-old assistant trying to bring that plane under control. And all I could see in my mind was the bronze memorial plaque in my memory. When I got to the back of the plane, of course, the rush of the air, and Flight Attendant Bob was there, and I thanked him for the pizza buffet, and it was I and two other men and an elderly woman. We were all caught between altruism and making next week's appointment. And just before we were shoved out, he said, "Oh, Mr. Brown, there's good news. We're coming in over a mattress factory parking lot sales. A 50-50 chance you may make it." Well, as you can see, I'm here, and I did. But when I got to the carousel, all the people were cheering, and we were all thankful we survived, but my luggage didn't come. Nothing. All I had was my luggage tag. I couldn't believe it. I had to go to the Lost and Found, fill out the paperwork. They were asking me these questions, did somebody else pack your luggage? Did you have luggage? And I said, I just risked my life to save people, and you couldn't get my luggage? Well, I know some of you are not believing this, and that's why I brought that luggage tag, just to show you my special luggage tag. And let me tell you, if that's the way PMS Airline is going to handle luggage, I'm not flying with them again.
That is one of the best stories you have ever told. Well, how did you come up with this, Larry?
Well, I have to now tell you that this story, in its longer version, about twice the length, got me third place this year in Missouri's State Liar Contest.
I would think that should get you first place.
Oh, there were two better stories.
You need to go on late night television to tell that story. That's fantastic. That was really funny.
Well, that's what we call a tall tale.
Okay,
I
but actually, some of the stuff is not too tall of a tale. That's very good.
Well, that's the object of a tall tale. You try to get people to believe it to some point.
Right. All right. If you want more information, and you want Larry to come and tell you a tall tale, how can they get in touch with you?
brownstory@hotmail.com.
brownstory@hotmail.com, and he's got CDs and all kinds of goodies for you. Thank you, Larry Brown. That was really a funny story.
Take fun.
Next time, Heart of Missouri, United Way. Have yourself a nice afternoon. Drop me an email, pepperp@missouri.edu. Bye-bye.